The 22 long rifle may look small, but don't underestimate it. Some of the newest rimfire loads in America hit with speed, energy, and precision that go way beyond the old plinking stereotype. One of the cartridges on this list is so hot, it feels more like a miniature rifle round than a backyard target load. Today, we're breaking down the 10 most lethal 22 long rifle loads available in the United States, ranked by velocity, penetration, and proven real-world performance. Number 10. Remington Yellow Jacket. The Remington Yellow Jacket has been a go-to for varmint hunters for decades. It's light, it's fast, and it hits harder than most shooters expect from a rimfire. This cartridge pushes a 33-grain truncated cone hollow point at 1,430 feet per second. That puts it near the top of the velocity chart for factory rimfire ammo. What does that mean in practice? Flatter shooting, more consistent accuracy, and a wound channel that surprises people who think all 22 rounds punch tiny holes. In ballistic gel, the Yellow Jacket digs 8 to 10 inches deep and leaves a larger cavity than most standard loads. And the price point makes it one of the most accessible hot rod 22 options on the shelf. Number 9. Winchester Super-X PowerPoint. The Winchester Super-X PowerPoint is built for small game hunters who want reliable expansion paired with solid penetration. This round throws a 40-grain soft point at 1,280 feet per second. That blend of weight and speed makes it effective on everything from squirrels to raccoons. The soft lead nose is engineered to mushroom on impact. In gel, it nearly doubles its diameter while holding most of its mass. That gives you a wide wound channel without the risk of overpenetration. What sets it apart is versatility. The PowerPoint runs just as well in a bolt gun as it does in a semi-automatic rifle. Consistent, accurate, and proven in the field. Number 8. Federal Game-Shok. Federal's Game-Shok is trusted by hunters who need reliable penetration with expansion that's still controlled. This load uses a 38-grain copper-plated hollow point, traveling at about 1,260 feet per second. The copper wash keeps fouling down, and accuracy sharp over longer shooting sessions. The hollow point cavity is tuned to expand even at rimfire velocities. Instead of acting like a solid, it mushrooms reliably in gel. That translates into a bigger wound channel with enough depth to ensure clean, ethical kills on small game. Dependable, repeatable, and built with the kind of engineering that keeps Federal near the top of the rimfire game. Number 7. Federal Punch. When it comes to rimfire loads built with defense in mind, nothing in today's market outperforms Federal Punch. This is a 29-grain flat-nose cartridge designed for one mission only, delivering FBI-level penetration from a pocket-sized 22 pistol. Federal didn't waste time trying to make a hollow point expand at rimfire speeds. Instead, they engineered this load to drive deep, and it does exactly that. In ballistic gel, the punch consistently reaches 14 inches of penetration, even when fired through heavy denim. That level of performance puts it in a category all its own for personal protection. The flat nose profile might look simple, almost old school, but that's the advantage. Unlike a round nose that tends to slip through soft tissue, the punch crushes and cuts on impact. The result is a wider permanent wound channel without relying on fragile expansion. Federal also tuned this load specifically for short barrels. That means it runs at full potential even out of the micro pistols many people actually carry. It's straightforward, it's effective, and right now, it stands as the most serious defensive 22 long rifle load on the shelf. Number 6. Aguila Super Colibri. Now here's the outlier of the list. The Aguila Super Colibri doesn't play the velocity game at all. This round only runs about 590 feet per second. No powder charge primer powered only. That makes it one of the quietest 22 loads you can fire, especially out of a rifle barrel. The bullet itself is a 20-grain solid lead slug. Lightweight, yes, but because it doesn't expand or fragment, it actually penetrates farther than many hollow points moving much faster. That makes it surprisingly effective on small pests at short distances, nearly silent, low recoil, and practical for situations where you want to dispatch a target without drawing attention. Number 5. CCI Velocitor. The CCI Velocitor shows exactly why the 22 long rifle still deserves respect. This round was engineered for performance beyond the usual plink and pop. Instead of going ultralight, it carries a full 40-grain copper-plated hollow point. That's heavier than most high-speed rimfire loads. Velocity runs about 1,235 feet per second. That combination of weight and speed means deep penetration and reliable expansion. The extra sectional density lets the bullet keep driving forward after impact, while the hollow point opens up to deliver real stopping power for a rimfire. One of the Velocitor's biggest strengths is consistency. It cycles well in semi-automatics, runs clean, and delivers predictable results across a wide variety of firearms. When you want a rimfire that blends accuracy, penetration, and terminal effect, the Velocitor is tough to beat. Number 4. Winchester Silvertip. The Winchester Silvertip might look like a round built for style. That silver coating makes it stand out on the shelf. But underneath the finish is one of the most effective defensive rimfire designs available today. This cartridge carries a 37-grain segmented hollow point. Unlike a standard hollow point that simply mushrooms, the Silvertip is engineered to fracture on impact. The projectile splits into multiple preformed pieces as it strikes soft tissue. Each fragment veers off to create its own wound track. That means instead of one narrow channel, you get a spread of internal damage across a wider zone. It leaves the muzzle at about 1,060 feet per second. That keeps it in the subsonic range for most rifle-length barrels, which makes it an excellent choice for suppressed platforms, where quiet operation matters just as much as terminal effect. The Silvertip isn't just about speed or penetration. It's about multiplying the fight-stopping potential of a single rimfire hit by breaking it into several tracks of trauma. That engineering is what makes it one of the most unique and dangerous 22 long rifle loads on the market. Number 3. CCI Stinger. The CCI Stinger is the round that redefined what the 22 long rifle could do. When shooters talk about rimfire power with real shock factor, this is the load they bring up. It runs a 32-grain copper-plated hollow point at a blistering 1,640 feet per second out of a rifle-length barrel. That speed is possible because the brass case is just a hair longer than standard 22 long rifle. That extra capacity means more powder. More powder means more velocity. On the receiving end, the Stinger hits harder than any traditional rimfire should. The hollow point opens violently at those extreme speeds, often breaking apart and tearing a cavity that looks more like a centerfire wound than a rimfire channel. The Stinger didn't just push the envelope. It made shooters rethink what this cartridge could achieve. Number 2. Remington Viper. The Remington Viper takes a different approach. Instead of chasing velocity for fragmentation, it doubles down on penetration and consistent tissue disruption. This load uses a 36-grain truncated cone solid, moving at roughly 1,410 feet per second. That flat-shouldered profile cuts into the target like a chisel. It leaves a wider permanent channel than a round nose while holding together for straight-line penetration. In ballistic testing, the Viper often outdrives lighter hollow points that expand too quickly and lose momentum. It may not deliver explosive fragmentation, but it carves deep, dependable wound tracks that put it in the top tier for serious rimfire performance. When reliability and raw penetration are the mission, the Viper is the round that gets it done. Number 1. Aguila Super-Maximum. At the top of the food chain is the Aguila Super-Maximum. This is the fastest production 22 long rifle ever made. It launches a 30-grain copper-plated hollow point at a jaw-dropping 1,750 feet per second. That number was once thought impossible for the cartridge, but Aguila proved it could be done. Performance-wise, this round is knocking on the door of .22 Magnum, and when it impacts, the effect is violent. The bullet mushrooms instantly, often fragmenting, and leaves a massive temporary cavity in gel. This is the rimfire load that turns a backyard plinker into a true small-game hammer. Fast, brutal, and unmatched. That's why the Super-Maximum owns the number 1 spot. The .22 long rifle may be small, but loads like these prove just how much power you can squeeze from America's most popular rimfire. From ultra-quiet pest control to rounds that rival Magnums in speed, there's a cartridge here for every role. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. Drop a comment with your favorite rimfire load, and make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into the guns and ammo that keep our culture alive.